بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألف لام ميم ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه هدى للمتقين.
Interpretation of the Holy Quran.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. With the grace of Allah, we began to have a concise interpretation of Quran. We reached to chapter Baqarah, verse 262. Chapter Baqarah is the longest chapter of Quran which is revealed in Medina. It has 286 verses. Please listen to verse 262.
الذين ينفقون أموالهم في سبيل الله ثم لا يتبعون ما أنفقوا منا ولا أذى لهم أجرهم عند ربهم ولا خوف عليهم ولا هم يحزنون.
Those who spend their property in the way of Allah, then do not follow up what they have spent with reproach or injury, they shall have their reward from their Lord, and they shall have no fear, nor shall they grieve. In previous verse, Allah gave a parable for those people who spend their money, who give their money in the way of Allah. And in this verse, Allah says, you should understand that only to give money is not enough. Even if you give it with the intention of Allah, as we talked about it in previous verse. In previous verse, Allah said, مَثَلُ الَّذِينَ يُنْفِقُونَ أَمْوَالَهُمْ فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ. The parable of those who spend their money in the way of Allah. In previous verse we said to give money is not enough. It should be in the way of Allah. But in this verse, Allah will say, don't think that if you give the money in the way of Allah with good intention, that's all. Definitely you are going to gain the reward. No. Still there is a possibility that you will destroy and spoil it. Allah says in this verse that ثُمَّ لَا يُتْبَعُونَ مَا أَنْفَقُوا مَنًّا وَلَا أَذَى. Those who give the money in the way of Allah and they do not follow them. And after that they will not bring the reproach, and they will not bother and will not have injury toward those that they are helped. Sometimes a person spends money, give to others with pure intention, only because of God. But after sometimes he reproach, he mention in front of others, he bothered them, he humiliate them. He humiliate them because in front of some other people, he remind them that I gave you the money. Do you remember 3 months ago and you came and asked for the money? He will be bothered and ashamed and will be embarrassed in front of his wife, his mother, his children. This is al-minnah. This is reproach. Allah wants to say that if you reproach others, if you bother them, although you help them, you have spoiled. It does not have value in the viewpoint of Allah. Allah wanted to improve you. And improve you, it means help the others with pure intention and at the same time keep the respect for others and do not humiliate them. It will tell us that to help the other members of the community alone is not Allah's purpose. Allah wants to help the others, improve them, and keep the respect for other people. The dignity for believers is so important in the viewpoint of Allah. Because of that, Allah says, ثُمَّ لَا يُتْبَعُونَ مَا أَنْفَقُوا مَنًّا وَلَا أَذًى. Then do not follow up what they have spent with the reproach or injury. It means if they follow up whatever they have done with the reproach and injury, they have spoiled it, and it does not have value in the viewpoint of Allah. To help the others and keep the dignity is so important. It is good to understand that when we help the others, we give the money to the hand of Allah. And we should say that Allah should have reproach toward us, that He gave us this opportunity to help the other members of the community by my hand. Allah should reproach whoever have such blessings of Allah. What is the minna? Actually, if we want to explain minna, it means to affirm to the person or to the people who are helped, to tell them that I have helped you, and to humiliate them. This is something that we should not have it, and if we have it, our good deeds will be spoiled and has no value. Minna is not accepted from people. When we help the others, we must understand that we gave the money, we gave knowledge. With anything we help the others is something that Allah has given to us. Allah has given to us, and I have duty and responsibility regarding to others. So if I do something, it is part of my duty, my responsibility. And not only that, plus, this is something that Allah has given to me. I am a tool. I am not the source of that. So we must understand that reproach from people is condemned in any way. From the other side, when a person reproach, he wants to tell a poor man, poor people, that I am the source of blessings. As I have it and you do not have it, this is humiliating the others. And at the same time, which is wrong, because you don't have anything from yourself. Allah has given to you, and Allah did not give to me. Unfortunately, when we talk to many people who are rich and we tell them help the poor people, they say to help the poor people for what? If Allah wants, Allah is going to help them. Allah did not help them because Allah didn't want it. If Allah doesn't want it, I should not help them. As Allah mentions this idea in behalf of the rich people and condemned, Allah says in chapter Yasin, verse 47, وَإِذَا قِيلَ لَهُمْ أَنْفِقُوا مِمَّا رَزَقَكُمُ اللَّهُ. When rich people who are not good believers, when we tell them spend money from whatever Allah has given to you to others, قال الذين كفروا, disbelievers says للذين آمنوا, to the believers, أنطعم من لو يشاء الله أطعمه. We should give to those people that if Allah wants, He can give it Himself, and He didn't give. If He didn't give, it means He doesn't want it. If He doesn't want it, so why I should give it to them? من لو يشاء الله أطعمه إن أنتم إلا في ضلال. And Allah says, definitely these people are misguided and they have a wrong argument. Allah has advised us to take care of others because He wants to examine me. What is my reaction with the facilities and abilities? Am I a generous person or very stingy? And examine the poor guy. He can tolerate the problem and take refuge to Allah and still appreciate Allah or not? So we have understood that reproach is not accepted from people. Nobody should reproach and affirm to others that I have given to you, I am rich, I have money, I have ability, and you do not have, to humiliate them. This is something that will spoil all the good deeds that we have done. Of course, we said that rich people, these believers who are rich, will not help the others, and this is their logic and argument that Allah doesn't want it. But we understand through different verses that Allah advises us to help the others. Allah, at the same time that He is able to do it, Allah wants people to be improved. But Allah is telling us in verse 269 of the same chapter, Allah says, in between the verses that Allah is talking about infaq and spending for others, Allah says, يُؤْتِ الْحِكْمَةَ مَنْ يَشَاءُ وَمَنْ يُؤْتِ الْحِكْمَةَ فَقَدْ أُوتِيَ خَيْرًا كَثِيرًا. Allah is giving the wisdom to whoever He wants, and whoever is giving the wisdom, it is خير الكثير. It is a lot of good to a person who achieved wisdom. Allah wants to say that, of course, to give to others is wonderful, but it is good to give according to the wisdom. It means be sure that when you help, you do not spoil a person. If he can work, encourage him to work, help him to work. Don't pay money to those people who are able to work and they can work, only they are lazy. Don't spend for these people. Anyway, Allah says, those who spend money and give to others, and they do not spoil it with the manna, reproach, and do not bother them, lahum ajruhum inda rabbihim. Their rewards is with Allah. There is a question here that, okay, we should not reproach other people. What about Allah? Allah reproach or not? Allah do minna to people or not? First of all, we should say, what is the meaning of minna? Minna, it means to give something to somebody else and tell him that you do not have it and I have given to you. Yes, this is a minna and we should not do it, and Allah has done it and Allah is doing. Reproach and minna is bad from us, not from God. Allah will do such things. For example, in chapter Al-Imran, verse 163, Allah says, لقد من الله على المؤمنين إذ بعث فيهم رسولا من أنفسهم يتلو عليهم آياته ويزكيهم ويعلمهم الكتاب والحكمة. Certainly, Allah conferred a benefit upon the believers when He raised among them a messenger. We will see that Allah has sent a messenger and it is giving the blessing to the people. And Allah gave the holy book, وَيُذَكِّيهِمْ, purify them, وَيُعَلِّمُهُمُ الْكِتَابَ وَالْحِكْمَةِ, and teach them holy book and hikmah, the wisdom, and all of them are the blessings of Allah. And Allah has mentioned that I am the one who gave such things to you. So, لقد من الله على المؤمنين إذ بعث فيهم رسولا من أنفسهم يتلو عليهم آياته ويزكيهم. Allah sent a prophet to the people, to the believers, until we recite different verses of Quran and purify them and teach them holy book and wisdom. So Allah is telling us that you didn't have such a thing and I gave you. Allah do minna. And it is humiliating. Allah wants to tell the people that you don't have anything from yourself. You didn't have, I gave you. We should not tell to other people, but Allah has said it. We should not say it, because if we say it, we don't have pure intention. We should have pure intention when we give something. We should give it in the way of Allah. Fi sabilillah. Fi sabilillah, it means pure intention. When we reproach and we bother others, it's not pure intention. I want to show off. I want to tell them that I'm an important person. So this is not fi sabilillah. So when we do reproach, this is not pure intention. This is one. Second, we should not reproach and mention to others, because we are not independent. Anything we have, it is from God. It's not from ourselves. We are holding is temporary. So we have no right to reproach others. And also, we should not do reproach, because it is humiliating the others, and all the believers have respect, and we have no permission to humiliate them. But when Allah will do minnah, all of them are accepted. Allah will show us and wants to tell us and remind us that you have nothing from yourself, you are not independent. And also Allah wants to humiliate us. It means to tell us that we are so weak and we don't have anything from yourself. And Allah wants to tell us that He is independent and we are depending on Allah. Because of that, we have understood that minnah is accepted from Allah, not from people. Minnah is like ghurur or fakhr, for example, proud. We should not be proud of ourselves, but Allah is proud of Himself. We should not tell to others that I am better than you, but Allah will do that, because Allah is the source of all positive attributes. Inshallah, in next verse, I am going to talk about this verse again. Thank you very much for watching. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.